Welcome back to Comics, the podcast where me and my mom go through our comic book collection and look at 2 issues each episode. This is a Captain America from 1985. Correction, 86. Yep. 86. This is Captain America 316, Armadillo Attack, 82 stories high, guest starring Hawkeye. And in their civilian forms, I challenge you to figure out, without using the word bubbles, which one is Hawkeye and which one is Captain America, because they look really similar to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without their masks on.
I thought you were going to say, which one is Captain America and which one is the Armadillo?
Well, that's an easier challenge for some of our younger viewers. So this starts off with Mockingbird. He drops the G's. Mockingbird. Reminds me of that Dumb and Dumber scene.
Is he Southern?
Go, Mock, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ing, yeah. Bird. Is he... No, I think he's from New York, and he's talking about how he just recently moved to, I guess, California to start the West Coast Avengers.
Oh, that's
right. He's an East Coaster that turned out... He's like, well, I'll move to California if I get my own team, basically. I think he's the chief.
Okay.
Which is weird, because I think Iron Man's on West Coast Avengers during this era, and you think he would kind of outrank Hawkeye. I mean...
Well, remember, I believe we read recently a Hawkeye, a team book where Hawkeye was doubting himself as a leader.
As I would too. Are we going to really follow this guy? I believe that was Hulk. I think that was the Hulk brawl, because he's leading the Avengers, and everybody's like, well, if Captain America was here, we'd have some good leadership. Something
That's
like that.
right.
So he's coming to visit Captain America because he's like his protege, he says. And she says, if you say so, sport. The colors are really, especially the yellows, really pop in this.
Nice.
Steve Rogers' yellow hair and the yellow narration bubbles, the yellow onomatopoeia, tap, tap, tap. And you'll see that even Hawkeye has very yellow hair. Bernadette's yellow shirt.
Yeah.
It's a very yellow book. So he says, hanging out with Captain America is probably the thing I miss most about not being on the East Coast anymore. I thought you told me the two of you used to quarrel all the time. Ah, that was back when he was head honcho of the Avengers and I was a smart aleck upstart. Between you and me, I used to be a bit insecure, and mouthing off is how I'd hide it.
Well, at least he's facing it, you know?
And now that you're head honcho of the West Coast Avengers, you feel like you've proven yourself, right? Well, I think you're just trying to find a place to stay for free tonight, you cheapskate. So she keeps him grounded, I guess. So we're cutting to Steve Rogers' apartment, and he's talking to his girlfriend Bernadette. They're having a very serious talk because she says that she's going to go to law school at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. So Captain America recently opened up a hotline that people can call to, I guess, get help with superhero problems that could be solved by a superhero, I guess.
Wouldn't that be cool?
You've been so busy responding to all the calls coming into your new Captain America hotline, I barely see you anymore, much less get a chance to talk. I apologize, Bernie. It has been hectic lately, but I suspect it'll settle down a bit once people get over the novelty.
You know what would be cool? You could call the hotline and ask for Reed Richards' help and say, hey, I know I live across the country, but I live alone and my back itches. Can you help out? Like stretch.
I think it's just a hotline for Captain America. So he'd be like, "Can you tell Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah.
Do you have his number?" I don't need your help specifically. Just make Captain America like the middleman.
Yeah.
That would be annoying. You'd think he would be ringing off the hook constantly.
Oh yeah.
With pranks and stuff.
My pizza's late.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, I could tell you that UWM is one of the top-ranked schools in the country, or that I like the campus or the curriculum the best. And I do, actually, but those aren't the main reasons why I chose it. Oh, The truth is, Steve, I need to get away for a while from New York, from old habit patterns, from you. With you around, I'd never be able to devote my full attention to my studies. You have a way of overwhelming people close to you. A few weeks back, I actually considered giving up law school to help you with this hotline full time. So they're having a moment of tension in their relationship, and she's
Yeah.
saying, well, if our relationship's strong enough, it won't matter. It can weather the passage of time and the distance, but he's not so sure. But they're interrupted by Hawkeye and Mockingbird,
Oh.
and you hear somebody knocking at my door upstairs. So they took their little jet and I guess like came in through the side door unannounced. He doesn't even have to answer the door. I guess he leaves it unlocked. I guess if you're
Yeah,
Captain America, I would still lock the door because you got supervillains coming after you.
Well, yeah.
He's got a Born in the USA shirt that's very yellow as well to go along with his yellow hair.
Oh, I see
What is
what
up
you
with the
mean.
yellow? It really pops in this.
In this book,
comic.
it's
It's
I see
maybe
what
they
you mean
gotta-
about telling them apart.
yeah, right?
Wow.
Up here, it almost looks like he's wearing sunglasses. Like, keep them on for all of our reference, please. 'Cause
Exactly.
I know they're wearing different clothes, but yeah, their facial features,
but
their hair.
the writing goes away and his shirt is white here instead of yellow.
Yeah, I guess he sweated through that one. It's like, now that I have a fresh one on, I can look even more like you, but I have brown pants. Blue pants, brown shoes, brown pants, blue shoes. He's got his blue shoes on. Blue suede shoes.
It looks like he tucks his pants though in his high tops.
Yeah, and Mockingbird's got the baggy boot
She's
top.
got the fold over boots.
So, Mockingbird picks up like, oh, I think, we caught him at kind of a weird time. But Steve is welcoming, and he says, come in. What brings you to New York? Nothing too exciting. I've been subpoenaed to testify at the trial of some jerk I brought to justice before moving out west. Heard about your national hotline, pal. Surprised to see you have any time left for hanging around the homestead. So, they're catching up.
Wow.
You can get this a prize from this very yellow page here.
Look at that clock, radio, telephone.
Look at Roscoe, the chimp puppet. Only sell 12 items to get Roscoe.
How much do you have to sell for that aerobic?
It's aerobic. It's not anaerobic. This is
For
an
coping.
oxygen. It makes use of oxygen, I guess, and converts it into farts.
I always wanted a harmonica. As a kid,
I
It's
have
like-
one. Do you want it?
no,
I never
I'm
use
good.
it.
I'm good.
I never really took to that instrument.
No, I mean
Maybe
I
if
got
I'm
one.
in like a southern jail someday, I can run it across the bars and
Your
play the
tin
blues.
cups across the
Yeah,
bar.
that's it.
Wah, 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 wah.
I don't like being in jail.
Wah, 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 wah.
I still don't like being in jail. Look at this yellow. They're going overboard.
It
Maybe they
is.
got
Elf
the
Quest.
ink company or the color company was like, we got a
Yeah.
surplus of yellow. We'll cut you a deal.
Wow.
So in our yellow narration bubble or block, we get soon a few blocks away at Brooklyn Heights Riverside Promenade, and the groups have broken into their pairs of genders. The boys are talking boy stuff, and the girls are talking girl stuff, I guess. And they're talking about their last encounter with the Armadillo. So that was our cover tease that he's going to be the villain, and we're gonna catch up with the
Okay.
Armadillo shortly. So Clint is saying the trial isn't until Monday morning, but Bobo Link and I decided to fly in early to spend the weekend in the Big Apple. Is Bobo Link something people would? Is that like what couples you would call somebody, like an affectionate name? Bobo Link and I. I'm not familiar
I'm
with
not
that.
familiar with that either.
That vernacular or whatever. I don't know.
Bobolink? No, Bobolink.
Bobo
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
That's very weird.
We don't get much time to ourselves in our line of work, so you got to squeeze it in when you can. How long have you and Steve known each other, Bernie? Since I moved into the building almost 2 years ago, I'm getting the impression that these two are some of Steve's superhero friends. I wonder which ones. Iron Man and Miss Marvel, maybe? Way off.
Wow.
Take your power level and diminish it quite a bit. Not quite as cool. Good to see you and Bernie still together, Steve. You two got engaged, right? Let me tell you, marriage was one of the best things that ever happened to me, old-timer, so don't be afraid to take the plunge. Well, it won't be for a while yet. Bernie's going to law school first. I may not be the world's most sensitive guy, but I think I hit a sore spot. Say, Clint, I've been meaning to ask you, whatever became of that Armadillo character I had a run-in with at your place a few weeks back?
Nice segue.
Yeah. So the Armadillo has actually arrived in Manhattan as well on this very The Shining-looking carpet. He's
What?
got a room at the Overlook, I guess.
What? Do they talk about his origin story in this?
They allude to it, but they don't explain it in great detail. I think a scientist did this to him. A mad one, probably.
I mean, why would you?
Well, they explain
take
why
the time to dress if you're an armadillo?
That they do not explain. He probably shops where the Kingpin shops.
Oh,
Big
he'd
and
have
tall.
to. He'd have
Super big and tall. So,
You did
him. Last I
horrendous.
heard, his wife was cured, and he got into this unlimited class wrestling racket.
Ah.
So, I guess his wife had been turned into some kind of monster. Maybe there was a woman armadillo, but she was turned back into a human, and he's on the wrestling circuit. They recently,
Okay.
from the context of this comic, they recently established this unlimited class wrestling where superhumans can make money in like a safer way to battle, I guess.
That would be
appealing.
kind of cool, though.
And we don't want to skip over one of your favorite comics and add for ElfQuest
I know it.
and Gru. I didn't like Gru very much as a kid, but the Sergio Aragones style has grown on me over the years. I like his cartoony kind of. We have some Gru, I think.
I do. I just looked at him this morning.
That might be fun to do one of these days. I have to say he has a very unique style, you know?
Yes.
To do such a cartoony style when the more realistic, muscly, gritty characters were coming to prominence.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's a interesting choice. So the armadillo's checking in, and like, you didn't say he would actually be so big and an actual armadillo. And the guy's like, hey, you don't want to mess with my 600-pound client, do you? And so they calls the bellboy, and they're pushing together 2 jumbo beds to hold him.
What the heck?
He has to have like 3 guys take his trench coat off, I guess. It's hard to get out of when you got fingers like that.
Oh, heck yeah.
They're on the 31st floor executive suite. And his wife, Bonita, is like, I'm so glad you got this wrestling match and you can take me to such a fancy place, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, I'm going to go maybe shopping and dancing and go out and see the sights. He says, that sounds fun. Let's go. Sit down, Antonio. We must talk.
Uh-oh.
Now you must know that you cannot go out on the town with me. No restaurant could fit you, and you cannot dance. You would attract attention wherever you go. Besides, you have a fight tomorrow that you must rest up for. As much as I would like to spend all of my time here by your side, you wouldn't deny your Guarida her chance to see the lights of Tinseltown, would you, my darling? Well, no. So
Okay, so
she
that's
is
what
going to go out
gets
with
him.
Ramon, though. He's like one of the help. And she's like, well, I'll go out with Ramon. You just push these king-size beds together and take a nap and be a monster. So, yeah, she's two-timing him.
She's a jerk. Dames, eh?
Well, I think he elected to stay a monster for their benefit. Because he's like, well, I can make a lot of money fighting in this wrestling league. Because I think they had a scientist reverse whatever process.
Her.
Yeah, and so he's like, well, I'm going to stay a monster until we get some money here and we can have a regular life.
You know, you think you wouldn't tick off a giant armadillo who's your husband.
Yeah, right?
You know?
Oh, here's the context I'm looking for is I only became a monster in order to save your life, and after I earn a lot of money by wrestling, I want to get turned back to human so we can have a normal life like before. And she's saying that she appreciates his sacrifice and everything, but
Sure.
she doesn't. So at the yellow font of this desserts place with the yellow shirts about,
in abundance.
And we have yellow hair, but this is more of an actual blonde color. Like sometimes it's a little more washed out. It looks a little more
right, a little more authentic.
But his is so yellow. It's very yellow hair. Later back in Brooklyn Heights, in yellow Brooklyn. So what's doing about town these days? I promised Bobby to show her why I made New York my home all those years. Any good bands playing at CBGB's? I don't know. I don't usually have time to keep track of that sort of thing. Let me see here. Oh, Armadillo. Speak of the devil. He's fighting against Doc Sawbones in the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation. Armadillo? Who's he? Just some fellow I met a few weeks back out west. Just a fellow. This is too good to pass up. People, pass up, people. Let's all make it a date. Some date. Weren't you interested in professional wrestling before this unlimited class thing came along, Bernie? Sure, darling. One of my weird phases. Tell you what. I'll go tomorrow night if you help me pack first. A deal. So they all agree they're going to do a double date to go see the Armadillo fight.
Why would you take someone you care about?
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's your last night in town. Let's go see a wrestling match. You like wrestling, right? Sure,
yeah.
in my weird phase.
You could be tough.
I mean, really tough. We get some more striking yellow here. Yellow high school. American Yellow High School has helped adults finish high school at home. Spare time for over 80... At home, spare time for over 80 years. It's like they're like, don't put the word in. It costs 20 extra cents. American School has helped adults finish high school at home, spare time for over 80 years, diploma awarded. Info free, no salesman.
Wow. Well, those extra words would have cost them the yellow.
I wonder how much the all caps cost them. Diploma awarded! So they're at the arena here, the Coliseum, really. And if you want to see recent issues of The Thing to know more about the nationwide sensation that is Unlimited Class Wrestling, well, you're just going to have to tune into that monthly series, which we do own some of those, that era of The Thing where he becomes a professional wrestler.
Oh, my gosh.
Gouge his eyes, rip his throat out. On May is there, I guess. Fuck him up. So Armadillo's making short work of Doc Sawbones here. I'm not familiar with Doc Sawbones. I'm not sure if he is actually like an established villain in Marvel. The name sounds kind of familiar. I think I'm mixing him up with Crossbones, who was a Captain America villain.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Sawbones either. And he's taking the whole wrestling. I mean, he's got the attire. Maybe he's just a big guy.
Versus a big armadillo. I still wouldn't want to just fight a giant
Chuck Chop?
Chuck Chop, the MD. I don't know what chuck chopping is. It's probably like Bobo Link. It's just lost slang from the 80s. The crowd certainly seems to go for this. I suppose it is quite exhilarating to those who don't know what true combat is about. This is Captain America thinking to himself. A bit too theatrical for my taste, though. Still, it's good to see Armadillo found an honest profession. Come on! Go, Army, go, go, go. They're all rooting for him. Yay, Armadillo. Boo, Sawbones, get him. Sawbones stinks. Everybody hates Sawbones. Poor guy.
Jeez. Oh, look at Armadillo.
You're not even established in the Marvel Universe. You suck. And the winner is the ever-awesome, amazingly ugly Armadillo.
Aww.
And the crowd goes, hurrah! As wrestling crowds do. You want, I think I want to drop in on Armadillo backstage, Steve says. I'll meet you 3 at Lindy's in a half hour. It's like, really? That's an awkward thing to do.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he be like, hey, Hawkeye, since you're a fellow superhero, let's go drop in on him. We both have experience. I just alluded to that issue a few pages ago. No, he's like, I'll go solo. So he goes into the men's room, and it's like, where was he keeping his shield that whole time? He just walks around with a bulky turtle-like silhouette under his shirt.
That guy's got a big round butt.
Either you're Captain America or those squats are paying off. This little visit is probably unnecessary, he thinks, but the few times one of my sparring partners does go straight, I ought to give them all the encouragement I can.
Oh.
And so, he must have some kind of Avengers card or something, because this security guard says, "Well, I'll be. You are Captain America. I thought you were just one of these wrestler guys. Armadillo's locker room's down the hall to the left. You can't miss it." And he says, "I wish he would have given me more specific directions." And he goes into the wrong room to see Bonita and Ramon here in a compromising state.
Uh-oh.
And he thinks later on, he's like, "Should I tell Armadillo? I hear your wife is cured." "Yeah, the Avengers made sure Dr. Malice did as he promised." I hate to go to that doctor. It's worse than Doc Sawbones. It's like a one step up. If your insurance only can pay for Dr. Malice or Doc Sawbones, just don't even bother. "We didn't have the doctor, or why didn't you have the doctor cure you as well?" "It was my wife's idea. She thought I could." "Oh, there she is now. Bonita, I want you to meet a friend." So they act like they don't know each other. And he's like, "Should I tell him? I don't know. Let him figure it out."
Dang it.
So
Something
he
like
says,
that can make an armadillo rage.
"You think?" So, and we don't even have to see the long emotional fight, because next thing you know,
Oh, crap.
they're at Lindy's or whatever they said the name of the restaurant was. They're saying, "Should I have told him, Armadillo, about his unfaithful wife?" "No way, Jose. His love life is none of your business," the other Steve says. It's like... Yeah, I only know how to draw one Aryan sort of white man, and this is it. "I don't think you want to hear about it from a casual acquaintance, Steve. You're a crime fighter, not a marriage counselor. I suppose I just wish there were something I could do."
Oh, no.
I should read the punctuation too. "I suppose. I just wish there was something I could do." So, he has a lot of empathy for this guy. And they're listening to 2/16 notes on the radio. Da-da! Ooh, I love this one. Da-da! One-y. Yeah. So, they're all packing Bernie's stuff. These are
that's
two
what
other...
they're doing.
Tom Selleck, I guess, lives in the apartment building. He wears his vest. He's got his long sleeve tee and a vest on. And then, I don't know who that is, but he's got... He's like, "I went with I got Hulk pants, but they're green. They're not purple. But they're Hulk brand."
But they are Hulk brand.
And Steve's like, "Those are the USSR knockoff Hulk brand, you bastard." So they're all packing when they hear on the radio that people think that it may be the Thing, but someone's overturning all these vehicles and running amok downtown.
no.
So Steve has to make an exit, and she tells them, "Oh, he just thought of some business that he has to attend to," like a really vague... "He just remembered some business he had to take care of this afternoon." Good old Bernie, he thinks.
Now, the only person who doesn't know who he is Hawkeye's girlfriend?
Well, Tom Selleck. I think there's some other people in
yeah.
the building helping Bernie, because
Okay.
they're all saying, "Oh, it won't be the same here without you, Bernie, in the building." So they're like other tenants, I
Okay.
think. But yeah, Hawkeye and Mockingbird and Bernie, they all know. I guess Bernie doesn't know what identities, like what code names, because she thought they were Miss Marvel and Iron Man. But
Right.
everybody knows that he's Captain America. Holy Joe, what is that thing?
Holy Joe.
I could see where you get mixed up if you only saw the Thing like on TV or something.
And
Be
that
like, maybe he
color.
mutated again.
Right.
He's always getting even worse. Even more mutated
man.
and lumpy.
Oh, poor
So
guy.
he's wrecking a bunch of stuff because he found out about Bonita and Ramon. And his manager comes, he's like, "Let me try to talk some sense into him." And the guy's like, "Show some ID." And so he does.
Really?
He's like, "Okay, well, as long as you do that." And that happens twice. As long as you have some kind of form of... It's like, "Oh, this is your Captain America license." "Well, proceed, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt." And I guess he's got an ID that's like... professional manager of the Armadillo wrestler. And he lets him in. He's like, "You're gonna bury us. All the damage and lawsuits will never recover. And you had a good career coming." And he just tosses him aside.
Oh.
Weird, this little misprinting of red on there.
Yeah.
I wonder if it came from the opposite.
Oh, maybe,
You know how the police use these bright red barricades whenever something's happening? So the SWAT team comes in and they shoot some gas. And he's like, "Gas can't stop me." While these days, they all rush him in their like riot uniforms, and he just whacks them aside with one hit. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys get walloped with one hit. They don't stand a chance.
Wow.
This is the job for somebody with a hotline. So Cap's trying to say, I thought you went clean. You can't throw everything away right now. And Armadillo throws this manhole cover at him, and he's like, I could duck, but what if it hits a civilian or something?
Right.
And so he absorbs the hit with his shield.
Dang.
That's a cool action
Deflected
shot.
it, but
Ka-tang!
threw him.
Yeah, so the energy throws him back, but he manages to land it. He said it stings. If anything, it would hurt your ears, I would think. The noise that makes, that would be awful.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to flip over this armored car, and Cap's like, look, Armadillo, we all know how strong you are. So knock it off. Okay, I know you really don't want to hurt me, that you're actually a very good person, so why don't we just talk man to man? I'm not a man. I'm a hideous monstrosity not deserving of love. I'm a pathetic fool, a born loser, a useless pile of... Did something happen between you and your wife, Armadillo? Yes! And I don't want to talk about it, I just want to lash out. Dull the pain inside me.
Oh, poor guy. Call the hotline.
Yeah, you should just have an advice hotline. Armadillo's wrecking too much property, endangering too many lives. Maybe switch the priority there. I'm going to have to take him down fast. Okay, Armadillo, let's have it your way. He does a little flip move on him, and he hits him with the edge of his shield right on the noggin. This isn't going to be as easy as I said. Armadillo has about 6 inches of thick hide covering all of his pressure points. Yeah, he picks up this little beetle, this little bug.
He's like, woodchucks, no woodchucks back. Flop.
And the color of the car, yellow, of course. A lot of yellow here. Move it, man, move it. A few of them frozen with fear, so the bystanders are going to get crushed.
They just run the opposite direction.
They're frozen in fear. And after verifying there were no injuries, he chases after the Armadillo, who's now scaling the Empire State Building.
Oh, great.
He saw King Kong.
Always.
He's like, might as well. The crowd is far enough away that I can finally use this, but the shield doesn't have any effect on him. He throws it at him. So he's like, well, I can use his handed footholds to climb myself. So he just starts climbing up after him.
He looks like a big bug.
He really does. Come back down, Armadillo. This is no way to solve your problems. Captain, you fool, stop following me. No can do, friend. Almost reach him. No... now, come on, Armadillo. Think about what you're doing. You think about what you're doing, El Stupido. I guess Estupido. Now, if I fall, you will fall too. You're not going to fall, Armadillo. Now, listen, I understand what it feels like to have woman problems. Right now, I'm in the midst of breaking up with someone I love a lot.
Whoa!
Yeah, right? It's like, that's a weird thing
escalated.
about this comic is, like, in the background of all the action, he's thinking about his... it goes from, we just got to wait for her to be done from law school. Now he's coping with it. And he's like, all right, I guess, might as well just break up. I wonder if she knows, though.
I know.
It's going to be the next issue is just her crying on the cover.
she goes
Will
Armadillo.
Cap feel bad? Yeah, she becomes the next Armadillo.
Wow.
She starts climbing the Empire State Building. Might as well. But life goes on, and as long as it does, there's hope of reconciliation, of finding someone new. No, there is no hope left for me. Bonita was everything to me. I went to prison for her. I became a monster for her. I was willing to stay a monster so I could buy her pretty things. And all the while, she was unfaithful to me, and I didn't know it. But I do now, and it is killing me, Captain, tearing me to pieces inside. My life is hollow and empty now. I'm going to spare myself more heartache by ending it all, and there is nothing. Hey, Cap! Hawkeye? Bernie must have told him where I was when he returned from the store. Back off, Hawk. I can handle this myself. Here's my chance. Arma!
Oh, no.
Adios, Captain.
Oh, no.
Blame it all on Hawkeye, pretty much.
Yeah, that guy's got
Though,
bad
if
timing.
Armadillo was, he's what, 600 pounds? If he chose to jump, what's
how are you
Captain
going to
America
stop
do
him?
about it, regardless, even if he's paying attention? He's jumped. I failed him. I know Captain America's strong, but can he hold up 600 pounds?
No.
Keep it from dropping for how long, and he's on the edge of this skinny, narrow thing. Like, what's he bracing himself against? He's going to swing him through the window or something? Would he even fit? Sorry, Cap, never mind. Just get me down to the street quickly. Hawk, go get an ambulance. Maybe, just maybe. Armadillo? I blew it, Captain. I can't even commit suicide right. I should have climbed higher. I think I broke something, though. I can't move.
Oh, no.
An ambulance will be here soon, Armadillo. Don't try to move. Just rest, and perhaps in time the pain of what you did, of what your wife did, will lessen. And soon. So what the heck was that all about, Cap? Love. End.
That's
Such
it.
a dramatic little somber ending.
Yeah.
Can't even kill myself. Captain America's
Aww.
decision is weighing heavily on him. We have a little bit less of a yellow comic,
A little
I think,
bit
for
less
our DC
yellow,
one.
but
We have
equally-
Justice League,
equally unusual bad guy.
equally animal-themed, monstrous.
Yeah, monstrous.
So we have Justice League 196, it looks like.
Yep.
And this is the Ultra Humanite, I think. Not to be confused with Gorilla Grodd.
Right.
Me
Featured.
being more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan over the years, it's easy for you know, to get mixed up with the gorilla-themed.
It is.
Gorilla Grodd is a super smart gorilla, but he was always a gorilla. He's not. He wasn't a human turned into one, I think what Ultra Humanite had his brain put into a monkey's body.
Yeah.
And he's a darker colored gorilla, whereas this is like an albino.
Is that like a
I was gonna
vein?
comment on that because he's
That's-
got like these shaggy bangs and beard, and his vein is so pronounced it's like coming through his hair.
I know that.
It's like, is your hair throbbing?
Yes. What's your point?
I guess he didn't think about like, oh, the monkey's skull is small, so his brain's just like poking out of
Oh.
little pockets of where the bone is broken or
Ew.
something. It's kind of gross.
So JLA.
Featuring the Justice Society, which I've always liked. They're like the old-fashioned version, right?
Yeah,
You can tell
yeah.
because they've got
They're
the Doctor Strange hair.
Earth 2.
Where only the sides of your hair, that's what I always thought how you would age when you get old, is the sides will go completely white, the top will
then-
be blue.
And we have to guess who comes out the winner in this 2-hero group, 1 villain group melee.
Yeah, it's a war between the Secret Society of Supervillains and the JLA.
Which some of them
So we
I
have-
can't remember from when I was a
We
kid.
have Firestorm Batman, Jay Garrick Flash, the
Yep.
Atom, Earth 2 Superman.
T-Bolt,
That's
Johnny Thunder.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like Jimmy Olsen or something. And one
That's
of
the
the
Atom.
original X-Men, I guess.
No.
I thought that was the Atom.
Oh yeah, that's the Atom. And
What about this guy? Is that Cyclops? He's making a cameo.
the Atom.
I guess he'd have a visor, but doesn't he? He kind of has the yellow-black early X-Men aesthetic.
It does.
I guess we'll see. We'll see him in a different panel
Yes,
and
we
figure
do.
it out.
We do. So we open up, and we have 3 down and only 7 to go. Somehow I thought it would be harder than this. Why complain, Monocle? We've captured 3 of the most powerful superheroes on 2 Earths.
Black Canary.
Hawkman of Earth 2, Wonder Woman, and Black Canary of Earth 1. Not a bad beginning. Ha 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 ha.
Gotta feel bad for Hawkman of Earth 1 and Black Canary of Earth 2. They're like, what are we? Mincemeat?
I know it.
The most powerful.
And what is she doing to Wonder? What's she trying to do to Wonder Woman?
Yeah, what the hell?
And he's like, what are you doing to Wonder Woman?
This guy's just like an amateur magician that they hired. to entertain-
Monocle. I mean,
oh, that's
come
Monocle?
on. Yes.
I'm not familiar with Monocle.
I know, me either. And this guy, Mist. He's interesting. He's got the long flowing.
He's like got a ghostly mullet.
Yeah. He's all business in front. So, the Monocle's like, well, you're right, Mist. My years of retirement have dulled my expectations. What a triumph this is. And Cheetah's like, so true. And so they're talking, and at that, it's but a prelude to an even greater triumph. Correct, Ultra Humanite? Tell us again how the capture of these 10 heroes will lead to an Earth without heroes. So that's the ultimate goal. Is they're going to get rid of all the heroes, these 10 heroes, and that they surmise will end the whole hero
Oh, okay.
concept.
So he has some kind of balance he's
Yes,
talking
my
about.
calculations show that the cosmic balance would be upset if 10 particular superheroes 5 from each Earth are removed from our space-time continuum. The resulting imbalance will correct itself by banishing all superheroes from one Earth. Which Earth? I do not know. But then he thinks, they don't even know. I do know. So he has a secret plan from his cronies.
He says his own. Is he Earth 1 or Earth 2?
Good question.
I think he's Earth 1, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're flashing to Earth 2 in this bubble, so that must be Earth 1. We're starting from. Psycho Pirate, I forgot about that.
I know, what a weird name. And when
What's pirate about him? He's just... Is that what you think of when you think of a pirate?
No. Doesn't he look more like
he's got the theatrical masks, as all pirates do.
He looks more like a jester.
He's like Daredevil.
Ish. But he's got the doctor's cowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the superhumanoid, he says, when all 10 chosen superheroes have been captured and banished to limbo, Cheetah, now be silent, all of you. Why is it that the bad guys all be silent?
Like peace and quiet.
He says, I must make contact with the other members of our new secret society to learn how they progress with their assignments.
I like how jagged his yelling bubble is.
Yeah.
Makes it look like he must have a rough voice. I guess all of his word bubbles have those jagged edges to them.
Yeah. He's probably got a Samuel L. kind of voice.
Be silent.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
So he connects with Psycho Pirate there, and he's at a charity dinner in Gotham, and my old underworld contacts tell me Our Man is going to make a special appearance here in an hour or so.
Is he a JSA hero? Our Man.
Our Man.
He must be one of these heroes. So I think these are Earth 1 heroes.
I think he's the one that we didn't recognize.
These are, I think, are Earth 2 villains. Earth 2 heroes, Earth 1 villains, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe they're just Earth 2 and Earth 1. But he must be this guy, I'm guessing.
But that's Earth 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to Earth 2. So it's not Hawkman. It's not the old-fashioned Flash or Superman. Not sure who this Bond fellow is.
That's Johnny Thunder.
Okay, this must be Our
Man.
Man.
Yeah.
He's got like the Liberty Bell kind of style mask. It's a little baggy.
Your hat's baggy, man.
Yeah, if you're trying to keep your identity, what if the wind, or you just you whip your head back in reaction and your mask goes flying off? It's like with my winter coat, actually, my hood falls down sometimes on me when I bend down to tie my shoe. He's got to think through this stuff.
The Psycho Pirate is going to confront him at this charity event where he's being introduced to give a little speech. And the guy introduced him is like, try not to put anybody asleep, will ya?
It's like the same guy, but his mask got loose.
But yeah, I washed it not. So he gives the signal to the guy up in the film booth to start the film. A little film he had to show the crowd, but instead of being Fred up there, it's a Psycho Pirate, and he said, "Take a nap there, Fred, instead of your tedious little epic." And he projects himself onto the screen. And his power with the Medusa mask is that he can make people have the same feelings that he projects. So like he's laughing uncontrollably, everybody else starts laughing uncontrollably. And so our hero says, exit Rex Tyler, chemist, and enter his alter ego, man of the hour, Our Man. So
does Psycho Pirate have to legitimately feel those emotions, or can he just
I think he just, he
I'm
can
scared, and everybody really feels scared.
Yeah, so he makes them laugh uncontrollably, then he makes them afraid, and they all start running out. And that is Our Man.
Can he make them all have diarrhea? I guess
well, that's not
really
an emotion, but
it is. It's a mood, as they say.
It's a vibe. And so Our Man comes in and gets the jump on him.
No wonder he's Our Man. We got 8:11 p.m., 8:11:32.
Yes.
He measures time in seconds.
In seconds. What his powers is he gets 1 hour of superhero powers. That's why he's called. So when he changes, he has 1 hour. And so he gets the jump on him at first, but then Psycho Pirate is like, hey, this is all part of my plan. And
So he chooses when to start the hour. He's like,
I believe so,
That
yes.
would suck if it was unscheduled.
Oh, can you
I got my
imagine?
schedule this week. All my hours are at like 3 in the morning.
But our man is using his cape to to avert his eyes from looking at Psycho Pirate so that it doesn't
Medusa
affect
mask,
him.
yeah.
Yes. And so he hits him and he gets some good hits in, and you see Psycho Pirate trying all these different ploys to get him to feel something. But he's like, had enough? Oh, yes. He goes, I wanted to do this on my own, but I see I'll have to use the goodie, the Ultra Humanite gave me. He gave him a prism. So everywhere he looked, our man couldn't avoid contact.
That's smart.
Yep. And so your face, yawning, sleepy, can't keep my eyes open, falling asleep. 8:20:02 p.m. He's asleep.
Is sleepiness an emotion? It's
Yeah,
more like
it's
your
more like-
physiology.
So maybe
though,
he
right?
could give you diarrhea.
Could he just stick his tongue out and like close his eyes and pretend to be dead and he'd die? Like, I'm dying.
Yeah, good point. And I'm not familiar with our man, so that would be
Unpleasant dreams. The Earth 2, am I wrong in saying the Earth 2 universe is kind of a little like cornier, like it's a little campier or something?
yeah.
It's like, I think it harkens back to the more golden age, goofy side of things, right?
Yeah. So we come back to Earth 1, and we've got our caped hero, Batman, winging his way around town, and he says, hey, there's some kind of signal.
I like this kind of circular skyline. That's cool.
It's a beautiful drawing. And then he looks, some kind of signal, but it overwhelms him, and he's blinded. Lost my grip on the bat rope. I'm falling, Batman. Don't get yourself killed now. I need you alive. Let's see, that signal flare burst would be wearing off right about now. And these people down here going into the theater are like, oh, I can't watch. And Batman realizes his vision is clearing. He's got one chance to save himself. He loops the Batarang around and crashes into the marquee at the theater, which this guy looks up and he's like, oh, Batman made it. And
He's
like a
getting glass
jerk,
in his eyes.
I know it. I had to keep my eyes closed. And I thought, well, this is all coming down on people. And,
I like how he thinks of it as bat rope. He's not like, oh, I need my rope. He's like, my bat rope. Let's be specific. It's trademarked.
And he goes, how appropriate, Batman. You saved yourself from my signal attack by breaking your fall in a movie marquee. He goes, say, Batman, you want somebody should call an ambulance? Later. I recognize that miniature bullhorn and amplified voice. Phil Cobb, a small-time crook whose big-time ideas led him to create a new identity as the Signal Man.
What a weird... I recognize that miniature bullhorn amplified... You really have to describe it that way? You can't just say, I recognize that voice. He's very specific, like with the bat rope.
And I wonder if it's because this is like introducing these bad guys, and giving us a little... Because
Is the miniature bullhorn like a part of his shtick?
And it must be like it's not something he's holding, so it must be I don't know.
I'm miniature bullhorn man, also known as the Signal.
So here's Bravo, Detective, and it's nice to be remembered.
Cool cola.
He's moved to another building, closer. These sparkles floating in the air, blinding, on and off, a code. A signal. He goes, I see you've noticed my newest gimmick, Batman. Glow spots. They affect the human nervous system. And what they're doing, he's controlling the crowd to get them to attack Batman. And I've signaled them to pull you down.
All supervillains now have mass. You're controlling the masses with that's kind of a recurring thing.
That's interesting, to pull you down.
Yeah, I'm not going to hurt you, but they're going to pull you.
They're going to pull you down, man.
Hey, we get a hostess.
Hostess
I
with
was
the
just
red
wondering with
tornado.
these, we've read a lot of these. We always stop to read these, which is good. But I've been wondering, since Hostess advertises in DC and Marvel, do they advertise the same snacks? Or is for instance, has
These
the
are the
Hostess
cupcakes.
cupcakes popped up in Marvel? Or I know we've seen Marvel Twinkie, I'm pretty sure.
We've
Have the
seen Twinkie, and we've seen...
I think Twinkies have shown up in both universes.
I think so.
But I didn't know if it was specific. Good old Red Tornado, everybody's favorite character. Isn't his, I don't know, something about his character design has always just looked dorky to me. I remember seeing him, I think I first encountered him in Super Friends cartoons, and I've never been impressed.
Yeah.
His legs become tornadoes.
Yeah, he becomes, yeah.
Red Tornado and Clean Sweep. A mysterious vacuum thief strikes nightly in Metropolis, devouring items of invaluable taste.
That's invaluable. Taste is subjective.
Yeah.
So,
no, my taste is worth more than this other person. No force to date has been able to stop its swift, clean sweeping suction. It's a hard act to swallow, Reddy. Your whirlwind powers are the only match for this hungry villain. My computer brain informs me we must bait the vacuum vulture with something dark and delicious.
Dark and delicious.
Later that evening, an incredible reading, something of incomparable taste is near at hand. Hostess cupcakes. Fudgy icing, deep, dark, delicious chocolatey cake. Invaluable taste. Yeah, it's invaluable taste, then it's incomparable taste, now it's invaluable taste again.
Yeah.
I believe it is now time to stir up trouble in the vacuum's control circuits. Yeah, I don't know if it's the control circuits, you're just kind of fucking up his whole car.
Yeah.
I think landing a tornado on his car, in other words, I don't think it takes a computer brain to figure out that
all
that
the hoses that tied him up.
He just kills him.
You're dead.
Reddy, you're quite a hero. You are mistaken, Commissioner. The Hostess cupcakes are the real hero.
Wow. We need to do a taste test and see which ones are...
We got to get them from 1981 when this comic came out, though.
Okay.
See if it still stands.
The Twinkies
is that
would be.
80? Yeah,
It is 81.
81. So this is 5 years earlier to mine, right? And the yellows have
Yeah,
faded.
the yellows have faded.
So maybe in another 5 years, we're going to pull this one out. Or pull the other one out and see if the yellows have faded yet.
Yeah. So the people are attacking like robots. Blast, Signal Man. He knows this is my one weakness.
Being pulled down.
I can't fight back against innocent victims.
I mean, you can't whoop their ass a little bit.
You
be like,
you could
I
push.
didn't break any bones, but I beat you up, you know.
You're gonna
like
bruise.
this old guy. You just give him a bloody nose, and he'd probably like, okay.
I know. If I was attacking Batman and he gave me a bruise, I'd be like,
If he shoved,
dude.
if he looked at me too mean, I would run.
Yeah, granted, I would too. So we have Signal Man reporting back to the Ultra Humanite.
I'm just saying, you don't read a whole lifetime of Batman comics, see all the things he does to people,
Right.
without being like, all right, I'm not gonna even try.
Right. So he says, mission accomplished. Then we pop back
They
over to
actually
Earth
make him
2.
look pretty menacing in that panel.
In this one, yeah.
For
yeah.
such a dorky villain.
So on Earth 2, the fastest man alive is a police scientist named Barry Allen. But on this world, in Keystone City, the fastest man alive is a retired chemist named Jay Garrick.
I like the Jay Garrick Flash. I like
Or an
the
Earth
the
One,
metal
sorry.
helmet.
I know.
That's a cool.
You'd think
they
he
make
could
fun of
throw
that,
that
in the,
really
I don't know if
fast.
you ever watched the CW Flash show, but they kind of poke fun at that. But I think they explain that his dad was in
World
the
War.
war.
Oh, okay.
I guess that style of helmet would be like World War One, I would think. But that shows you the weird. You know, a lot of these characters came out at a time where that would be plausible, and now it's like, okay, in 2020. Man, you must be really old if your dad was in World War One.
Yeah. So we have him coming on a witness, or what is that called when you give info
Informant?
to an informant?
Is it Matches Malone?
No, not this time. But anyway, he goes, "Heard you were looking for the rag doll. Spotted him on the Lazy Sue." So he takes off. But look at who our informant is, no one other than the Monocle.
Oh, no.
He calls Ragdoll to let him know that the Flash is on his way, and the Flash takes off to this ship. He goes, and it looks like my luck's held steady. Still no sign of him. I've searched every spot on this ship, big enough for a man to hide. Did I say big enough? Ragdoll is triple jointed. He could tuck himself anywhere, including in there. He goes, rats, you moved. Look at, we don't get to see him yet.
He was going to shoot him? Damn.
He goes, if it's movement that bothers you, punk, try this. Where'd he slip to? The cargo hold.
The other people they're trying to capture alive, Ragdoll's just like, bam, bam, bam.
I know. But that's a drop of 40 feet. He'll break his legs. But then he remembers, no. He's got
God.
rubber. I know. He's got like rubber legs. He's
got
fine.
Spaghetti hair.
And so he has to like beat against the air fast to lower himself. But anyway, there's an explosion. And he drops.
That's a cool panel.
He drops and he's out. And you got it right at the last, pal. My body is more resilient than a foam rubber pillow. Too bad the same isn't true for you. Ragdoll to Ultra Humanite. I bagged the Flash and I'm bringing him back alive.
So he took a couple shots at him, but he's like, he'll dodge him. So I'm allowed to shoot at him because I know he'll dodge him, which is like, why even bother then? If you know he's going to dodge it.
Exactly.
Just blow him up.
You know,
leading him. Yeah, shooting him in this way leads him to the bomb. It'll all work out. And it did, I guess.
Yeah. And we're back on Earth 1. Much like any other American city, New England's Ivy Town has its share of crime, gamely fought by an embattled police department. But unlike other cities, it also lays claim to a resident superhero, the JLA-er, known as the Atom.
Really rolls off the tongue. The JLA-er.
I know. Startled me, little fella. Sorry about that, Chief. Guess it's been a long time since I pulled my traveling on sound waves trick. So he goes,
I forgot he could do that.
I know. When I heard about your problem on the radio, I thought I'd better get here quick. Glad you did. You know this guy? Chief, the Floronic Man and I go way back.
Floronic Man. I'm not familiar with him.
Of course, when I met him, he was still Jason Woodrow, crackpot horticulturist. I hear he's changed since then, in a big way. But no matter what he calls himself now, Floronic Man or Plant Master, he's still the same old lunatic. Any idea why he's holding hostages in the Ivytown Arboretum? Attention, Ivytown police. If you ever want to see these hostages again, alive, send me the Atom to negotiate their release. You've got 1 hour. Use it well. So he talks. He says a little bit about himself. We have the captives being held in this huge Venus flytraps. And he's like, I don't really have any feelings about it. I don't have any blood that curses through my bones. And, he's been pretty much transformed into a plant. He's basically a tree. He has control over the trees or over plants. He doesn't have emotions. All he wants is to...
He wears these underwear made out of...
Thank God for that.
And, weird that he has the shoulder pads and wrist... Maybe some gauntlets or something.
Does he have it on his...
gauntlets.
Yeah, it looks like he has it on his ankles too. Yeah, right here.
Just for contrast.
But, he lets... He lets people know, I neither hate nor love. I simply survive.
He's like if Groot wasn't cute.
Yeah, or nice.
Groot was too human looking and not cartoony enough.
Right. I mean, he's lost pretty much all human failings. But you've got all criminals are outcasts, I suppose. As am I an outcast. I've become a plant, a Floronic Man, a thing of wood and sap, a mockery of humanity, a pretense of pow, ow. The Atom, plant or person, Woodrow. You've kept all your bad habits. You still talk too much. He goes, my last human failing. How we cling to our venalities. My attention was given you, or my inattention has given you a momentary advantage. I hope you enjoyed it. And
I like that panel.
Yeah.
The edges of it are cool.
He starts making the rose bushes hurl their thorns at him. Ah. He goes, militant rose firing thorns like crossbow bolts.
The Atom is a good hero. If you're going to be a villain, the Atom's a good guy to go up against, I feel like, because you can use a lot of normally not very dangerous things, but to his size, like, oh my God, a ball of yarn! It's a boulder! You don't even have to like go to the armory and get a bunch of crazy stuff. You just
True.
threaten them with everyday
Oh,
objects.
he's just gonna step on
Yeah.
here. He says,
Oh my
"Yup."
God.
And so he goes, "I thought you wanted to negotiate. Adam, if I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. My allies in the secret society have a use for you alive." So he kind of gives it up and stuff. And they keep fighting. And then he gets him close. He goes, but even the tiniest of creatures must breathe. And so he breathes out all this pollen, which makes
I
him
got
start.
this from the Ohio Valley.
Yes. He goes, it's flaming, burning, worse than tear gas. Itching, sneezing, can't catch breath. And he goes into the water to try to, wash it off and stuff, but it actually puts him to sleep. But the Floronic Man has become master of all plant life. That plant pollen was bred to produce more than a simple allergic reaction. It causes unconsciousness, and all who inhale it, ultrahumanite, will be pleased. If only I could share his joy. What
Jason Woodrue, with a name like that, of course he became the plant master.
Yes. So you see, we've got, 3 heroes down now?
Yeah, it must be nice. I was thinking it must be nice to write one of these team books, because you just have to write like little vignettes for each one.
Right.
And like they're 3 or 4 pages, and you don't have to like delve too deep into the characters' motivations, because a lot of it's action. I mean, not every team comic is this structure, but for the it works well for this one.
Yeah, no, you're right.
A little peek into each.
So we hop back to Earth 2, and besides being one of the original members of the Justice Society, Johnny Thunder, possessor of the mystic T-Bolt, is also...
T-Bolt or 7-Bolt? Must
T-Bolt.
be T-Bolt.
Is also would-be man about town. So he's like a playboy type or trying wannabe. And he gets this invitation to a fancy store because he's kind of joked about being stuck in the 50s. So he got this today, you pick up a new suit at Abercrombie and Fitch. Some kind of promotional prize. You lucky guy, you. And the T-Bolt is going to pop his top when he sees me in my new threads. Heads up, chums. Here's Johnny. And what can we do for you, sir? He goes,
Whoa.
What do you know? An Adolphe Menjou lookalike.
Oh, yeah, Adolphe Menjou.
Do you know who that is?
No.
I had to look it up.
Must be a 50s reference.
Yeah, well, then older than that. They reference his name several times. So I looked him up. He's an actor who was born in 1890, and he played. One of his famous roles was he had a lead role in Charlie Chaplin's movie Something in Paris or something about Paris. But anyway,
what a weird reference.
It is. So
it might be that the person who drew this was just, I think sometimes they take inspiration from real people. Because I forget the actor they said when they first drew Wolverine, they were basing it on a character actor whose name I can't remember right now. So maybe it's just a little shout out. Maybe the writer noticed that and they're like, let's put a little little nod for the cinephiles out there that are reading this.
Yeah, that goes way back though. So anyway, he shows him the letter. He goes, I have something superior to that, sir. Step this way.
Is this one of the sea monkeys you can get from some of these ads? Doesn't it look like?
It is.
Kind of.
Mine didn't give me superpowers. So he takes him back to pick out a suit. And unnoticed by the grinning Johnny Thunder, at the sound of the...
word say you.
Yes.
Say you.
It is pronounced say you. So, because he says say, you warm up a guy pretty quick, don't you? So he said that, And so the T-Bolt comes up and he notices that people are just standing there like something's funny, something's
Oh, so
odd.
This is his hero form?
That is his T-Bolt, his Thunderbolt.
Oh, it's like a part of him? It comes out of him?
Separate from him, but he says it and he says say you and it appears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It would be interesting.
I thought you were saying this guy was a villain and he summoned. I thought this was going to be a bad guy.
Oh, no,
that's Johnny Thunder's T-Bolt.
That's
my
his T-Bolt.
mistake.
His Thunderbolt. He goes, I think I'll tag along, invisibly, of course, and
They got the
see
Flash's boot.
just what this guy's up to.
Well, where's Yellow Boots around here?
And from the brightly lit store showroom, the Thunderbolt plunges into unwelcome darkness, a darkness cool and clammy, in which a sibilant voice whispers like a hint of intended violence. You're certain that fool Thunder suspects nothing? Nothing, Master. I know that little guy. The T-Bolt's thought is shattered. For in the next instant, look at the poor guy. Psychic energy blasting me, can't hold together, breaking apart. And we've got Johnny there, like, enjoying his soup, but a little sad that it's not plaid. He likes his plaid. And then all of a sudden, I'm glad you approved, Johnny Thunder. You'll be wearing it as a shroud. Yerk. Don't know me,
Yerk.
Johnny Thunder. The name is Brainwave. Can't be. Brainwave's an ugly little dwarf. I've changed, Johnny Thunder. Let my brain blast show you how much I've changed. He says, say you, T-Bolt. Why isn't he ever around when I need him? And somebody help! Holy cats, there's nobody in this place but a bunch of mannequins. How could I have been so dumb? This whole setup was a trap. Duh. And T-Bolt, where are you? I'm getting creamed. Hey, boss, in here. And so he looks and goes, dummy, this is no time to play hide and seek. I'm in trouble. He opens it up and wham! He gets hit.
Clark Kent's just walking by. I'm wearing a white shirt and a white tie.
And he lets him out and wham! And you're not my T-Bolt. And
Oh, no.
I've been tricked by the use of my incredible brain.
Oh, these are the same guy?
Uh-huh. I've
What a
made your
goofy
mind
looking
see what
character.
I wanted it to see. And pretending to be a bottled T-Bolt or wearing my new body is child's play for a man with my mental resources. Brainwave reporting to Ultra Humanite. I've dealt with both Johnny Thunder and his Thunderbolt. We'll arrive at the sinister citadel momentarily. Brainwave, over and out. So yeah, this makes me
He's
want
got
to
a
look
very
up Johnny
round head.
Thunder and T-Bolt.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any of their.
I don't think I've seen like a solo series, with Johnny Thunder.
So we're gonna have to look up his team and see.
I like his round head and his round glasses.
He still has a chiseled jaw. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not
He
as
does.
bad as I thought.
He chews Bazooka Joe gum every day to work out his jaw. It's like it has no flavor after the first chew.
So then we cut back to Earth 1. And Dad won't be home till late, Doreen. So we've got the house to ourselves. Pretty neat, huh? And she's like, Ronnie, nobody says neat anymore. It's a good thing Cliff Carmichael isn't here to call you a dumb jock. It's a good thing Carmichael isn't here, period. Shh, handsome, listen to this news bulletin. And it's a story, the
Killer
news comes out,
Frost.
Killer Frost. And so he has to make a exit, stage left. And she looks, that lady gives me the chill, Ronnie. Huh? Ronnie? Where'd he go? Ronnie, you know who Ronnie is, right?
Firestorm.
Yeah, we've read a couple of his books.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not there where he's supposed to be. And we cut to the professor real quick, and he's getting some food when all of a
Fettuccine
sudden...
Alfredo.
Yes. When all of a sudden the waiter looks up, he's like, oh, I gotta stop drinking. And the professor's like, Ronald, I hope you realize that was the first decent meal I'd had in months.
That's such a trope in different movies and stuff of like the guy looks at his bottle of booze and throws it away after something. They should start an intervention service for alcoholics where you like perform some kind of miraculous thing in front of them that makes them be like, holy shit, I need to reassess my life.
That could be another call. Dial up and Cap America will make it happen.
Did you see that armadillo jump off the Empire State Building? I gotta quit drinking so much.
And so the professor's like, is this important? And Ronnie's like, is Killer Frost important? My body will say no more. Or my boy, I will say no more. So at Tiffany's, the cops are like, I say we charge the place, Sarge. And that's why I'm the sergeant and you're just a rookie. So look at what she's done in there. She's completely just frozen everything. They're afraid of me. Good. Men should fear me. I despise them. And given the chance, I'd gladly... Someone's coming. You guessed it, Frosty. Me. And he gets the jump on her.
I wonder if Mr. Freeze and Killer Frost have ever teamed up.
Ooh. He goes, let's wrap this up quick, okay? I don't want to miss tonight's 4-hour Gilligan's Island festival. Your humor is
4 hours
infantile.
Of Gilligan's Island?
Yeah,
well, thank you.
That'd be a bit much. But if you wish such feeble jokes to be your epitaph, then freeze, clown, freeze.
I do like the coloring work with Killer Frost's panels.
Yeah, and how when people
like
are
a
iced,
grayish blue.
yeah. Lady, I don't think you like me. Fortunately, the feeling's mutual. So they fight for a while, and he's like, "That's my third blast, and that's the third blast, and it went past my head." And, what are you doing? You're losing your touch. She goes, I haven't missed my target, Firestorm. Look up. What she was doing was, instead of, he thought she was trying to hit him, but she was icing up the ceiling so that when it would fall, it would catch him unguarded and knock him out. So she leaves and calls, she talks to Cheetah and lets her know that she's got her target. Then we're back on Earth 2, and he was the first superhero on any world. Superman, the man of tomorrow.
Whose exploits during World War II inspired a generation.
On Earth, so he was the first on Earth 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess he's a retiree. Like other retirees, he
Yeah.
sometimes finds the draw of active duty irresistible.
So he's called to the zoo, which, I mean, come on.
Bring me Superman!
So you men stay out here.
Did he
or
have
stay
to
out
write
there.
it in his own poop?
You could have used the marker. Come on.
It was an artistic choice.
He says, I've had some strange experiences in my day, but this is the first time I've been lured to an ape house. That shadow.
Ooh, he's got like pink on his...
I know.
Veiny
It's
head.
gross. He may be past middle age, but he is hardly past his prime. And despite a microsecond of surprise, he responds to sudden attack without hesitation. An ape in a monkey suit. Who's your trainer, Kong? You misunderstand, Superman. I lured you here. I, the ultra-humanite. Apish allies, attack! So he sends these apes to attack Superman. But after all the bodies you've had, you still make the same stupid mistakes as always. So this Superman
This is
a
not
little...
his first monkey body? Is that what he's implying? Damn.
Sending gorillas to attack me? That was stupid. And sticking around after your attack failed is even stupider. So this Superman is a little feisty.
He's grumpy in his old age.
Yeah.
So stupid.
But overrunning those innocent zoo guards was the stupidest act of all. Because now you've made me angry. He blows his breath. But he knocks
That poor
down the
elephant.
He looks shocked and sad.
Superman, that was the last elephant in North America.
Aww. He goes, why'd you do that? Do it, ultra-humanite. Why make a comeback? And why attack me? As he's flying into him, when
Oh no.
green kryptonite mist flies out, he goes, why does genius do anything, Superman, to achieve greatness? He goes, you've tricked me. Pain, so great, blacking out. Yes, you Kryptonian clown, my apparent defeat was a ruse. I lulled your suspicions, brought you close enough for long enough for my deadly spray to coat you completely. Ultra-humanite to secret society. Mission accomplished. Phase 1 is complete. That's a really cool
What
drawing.
happened to the elephant's trunk there? Or it's
Piece of paper.
horn, tusk.
Oh,
Is that
Oh.
paper? Because it looks like it's
It
got
looks
little
like
tusks.
it's got tusks there.
Little nubby ones. I guess that is like a flyer or something. It looks like it's white tusk coming out, but it got cut short.
Yeah, that's weird.
Blew it right off his face, I guess.
So we go back up at the Sinister Citadel, and it's time to begin phase 2. Cheetah, check the stasis tubes. Do our guests sleep well? They sleep, Ultra-Humanite. Why don't we just kill them and be done with it? Bloodthirsty little witch, aren't you, Cheetah? You know what Ultra-Humanite told us. The cosmic equation demands these heroes be alive when they arrive in limbo. Though what happens to them after that isn't any concern of ours. Will it work, Ultra-Humanite? Will my world be free of all superheroes forever? We'll soon find out, Killer Frost. Stand back now. I'm activating the cosmic fugue. Watch as it begins to turn faster and faster. When it attains maximum speed, a space...
Maximum Steve. That's a new villain.
That's a great new villain's name. When it attains maximum speed, a space-time warp will be opened between our reality and limbo. In that instant, 10 superheroes will leave our cosmos, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same. To be concluded next issue.
My prediction is that the villains will turn on each other. I think they'll discover that the only superheroes that have disappeared were on one Earth, and the ones from the other Earth that are not free of superheroes will take their spite out on the villains of the other Earth. You know what I'm saying?
That could be.
I think that's part of what's going to happen.
That could be.
Because we'll have to find that issue.
We'll have to see if we have that issue. You know what? I had a tape deck just like that. Got it for Christmas.
Did you sell 34 items?
No, I just got it for Christmas. But we used to make radio shows. It was a blast. But I
Now
always
you can
wanted
make
this
a
tiny
radio show
TV.
on your telephone now.
I know it. But no flying cars. Dang it. You know what's funny?
Do you really want to be
I
flying a
don't know.
car? Have you seen how people drive on 71?
Oh, I
or on
know.
65? I don't want to be flying in a car next to these people.
You know, I've noticed that on like TikTok and everything, they talk about scholastic book fairs and stuff being a thing of the 90s, and people are very, they look back on it fondly and stuff. And it's like, dude, I was in elementary school in the 70s. We had scholastic book fairs.
Oh, really?
So it's
Well, maybe maybe the 90s was like the last time they remember it being around. Do they still do it?
I think they still do it.
Oh, well, I don't know.
And I remember.
Maybe it's just the people that grew up in the 90s are missing it.
Yeah. I love that too. That's why you go to bookstores or comic stores. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Well, we saw 2 wild animals. Human-like wild animals. A lot of yellow.
Pulsating veins. Lots of hair.
He broke something.
Yeah, that is
He probably
Otterman.
broke that when he fell. That little
Ooh.
tail.
My coccyx.
He's got to sit on a donut for a couple weeks.
It's a big donut. It's Homer Simpson's donut.
Well, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, we'd really appreciate it if you comment and subscribe and give us a like. Thanks for watching.